Hey guys, Zip Tie back with you. Another episode of the Wasteland small engine maintenance. This episode we're going to go over toolkits. The toolkit that I bring when I bring my small engine rides to festivals. I brought a toolkit similar to this to New Clan, and when I brought the death cart down there for the death cart races, I brought this a toolkit similar. I'm always adding a little bit or subtracting a little bit depending on what I need. But I brought this toolkit to Apocalypse East when I brought my small engine rides there. So let's take a look at what I carry with me. I don't bring a full giant toolbox, but I bring just enough to get by or do a few tweaks here and there. Okay, so the main part of my toolkit fits in an ammo can, so I can set this outside at my camp and it blends in. Some oil. If your engine's running low, you can top it off at a little bit. Never hurts to have a little oil. If your rigs run a centrifugal clutch, I recommend you bring a spare. I don't recommend you try to pull one apart and clean it on site at the festival. It's just kind of a waste of time when you could be spending time with your friends, enjoying the sights and activities and shows and whatnot. So I probably wouldn't waste my time trying to clean it. What I do is I clean it and oil it before I go, and that should be good enough for extended weekend of use. We would hope, but if not, we're going to throw a spare in and be able to just swap it out if we burn up a clutch. Here I have a spare master link. This master link works for all my chain rides. It works for the trike, it will work for the death cart, and it will work for my little motorcycle, Dull Stinger. So I have a spare master link. Now if I really wanted to go all out, I could take the chains off and I could cut a spare chain to the exact length of each one I need, but I've never broken a chain on any of these. Truth be told, these chains are probably a little bit beefier than we really need for a centrifugal clutch anyways, so I bring a master link and call it spare master link and call it good. Next, I bring a spark plug for each motor. This is for Dull Stinger, and then this is the BP R6ES as we talked about in the last episode. So that's a spare Predator 212 spark plug. Now most of these tools look kind of new. It's because they're just cheap Walmart tools. I bought them specifically for this kit, so they stay in here. I don't have to go building this and deciding what I'm going to put in there each and every time. All this stuff just stays in that ammo can, and it's specifically for doing this. And I could do most of my work with this toolkit on these rigs. So I got some Allen wrenches here, various handlebar attachments and whatnot have Allen wrenches. So I've got some standard and some metric, a single Phillips screwdriver and a single regular screwdriver, and some little zip ties. Just a generic knife. This is actually half of a multi-tool, so I got a blade to cut something in the toolkit. A pair of wire cutters, needle nose, a pair of pliers, an adjustable wrench. We got our spark plug wrench over here. This will work on all of them. A little bit of electrical tape, some paracord, a rag, a little tiny pair of vice grips, old pair, and then I've got some metric. So at least two 10mm, and then I've got 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that should do anything I need to do on these, all that I would be worrying about trying to do while at a festival. And I got a 1/2-inch wrench and a 9/16, and then another 1/2-inch wrench there. So that is the toolkit that I bring with me when I go to festivals. In addition to that, I add my scooter toolkit to this pile, because in this kit has a few extra items that I use when I'm touring on the Ruckus. The wife and I ride these all over the place. Love these little rides, little 50cc 4-stroke liquid cooled scooters. And we got the foot pegs there. Fun little rides. All right, so sidetracked there. So this is my scootering or motorcycling specific toolkit. So in here, again, I get a little bit of duplicates, but that's because this is a standalone kit for those. A rag, a larger adjustable wrench, some plugs. These are tire plugs. Maybe I'll do an episode on plugging a tire. So these can be used if you get a nail or a screw in any tubeless tire. My scooters have tubeless tires, so I can plug those. All 4 tires on my go-kart, death cart, are tubeless, so I can use a plug on that. I can use it on the rear tires of the trike. I can plug any of those tires. The front tire has a tube, so a plug wouldn't work. I'd have to patch it. Because this is a really old tire and an old tube from an old moped, I do carry a spare tube for this. It was the original tube that was on the rear wheel and tire of this moped when I pulled it apart. So I have a spare tube. I don't even know how easy it would be to get this tire off here. Probably be pretty tough. But I bring it anyways. My bicycle, I bring some spare tubes for the bicycle. I do not have spare tubes for that bike. I probably won't bother. I would have a real tough time changing those tires on site. Those are more of a dirt bike style tire. I'd really have to struggle probably trying to break the bead on that, so they seem pretty solid. I'll leave those as is. So I've got some plugs, and then I've got the remainder of the plug kit, the reamer. Let's see, and here we go, the plug setter. Also in here I've got some fuses which don't apply to any of my Wasteland rides. Those are specifically for the scooters. I have a motorcycle specific multi-tool. It's got Allen wrenches. It's got some little sockets on it. Screwdriver. Multi-use wrench. And then the rest of the stuff in here. Some more paracord for strapping stuff on the scooters. My little USB power adapters that are for the scooters. Again, these aren't needed for my Wasteland rides. This is just another kit that I have all put together. I toss in when I'm headed out. Alright guys, hope the brief overview of the small toolkit that I carry along with my mini bikes and death carts to festivals helps encourage you to put a little kit together so you can keep your rig up and running while at the festival. One thing I did forget to mention as far as toolkits goes is that in my pickup truck I have a small ratchet set that stays in the pickup truck. If I didn't have that in my truck, I would probably bring along a small ratchet set like this. So it's got a nut driver and then a ratchet. Ratchets really help when you're trying to work on things. So I would probably bring a long little set like that. Like I said, I already have one in my pickup truck, so I don't need to bring that along. It's a little bit more comprehensive, but that little ratchet set combined with all this will help you do pretty much anything you want to do in the field. Thanks for watching.